America is the land of bright lights and broken dreams, a place that delights and inspires a hunger for fame. It's also a place that some people find hard to leave, even after death.
My name's Gail Porter and I'm a skeptic.
My name is Chris Fleming and I am a sensitive.
It's my mission to investigate alleged sightings and hauntings of Hollywood ghosts.
A sensitive can detect paranormal events beyond the range of the 5 senses.
I wouldn't say I'm a non-believer, but I'm definitely a skeptic.
Together, our mission is to investigate the dead famous. Our search for the spirit of Harry Houdini will send us to the places closely associated with the master magician, from the faded splendor and freak shows of Coney Island.
Oh my God, what is that? What is that?
To the bright lights of Times Square and Broadway.
Oh, it's like someone's breathing on me. Oh God.
The sinister desolation of one of the world's most infamous penitentiaries.
You're okay.
So?
Gail, those are not your eyes.
Yes, they're my eyes. Don't say they're not my eyes. Don't freak me out.
Before ending at the annual Houdini family seance on Halloween.
We're here again, Houdini, trying to contact your spirit.
Would Houdini escape from the shackles of the afterlife and make his presence known to us? Harry Houdini is perhaps the most famous magician, illusionist and escape artist the world has ever seen. Born in Hungary in 1874, his family emigrated to the US in the hope of a new and prosperous life when he was 4 years old. He died aged 52, the accidental victim of a mistimed stunt. His body was brought back to New York, to the place where he had made his name. He was transported in a coffin that he used in his stage act and arrived at Grand Central Station to be greeted by hundreds of mourners.
Houdini was a master showman, a self-confident self-publicist who loved living life in the spotlight.
For 10 years after his death, Houdini's wife Bess held a yearly seance to try and contact him. He never came through, but his relatives still hold these seances every year in the hope that maybe he will communicate from beyond the grave.
This seance would be our ultimate destination. But before we could start our investigation, I wanted to find out more about the mysterious, enigmatic character who has inspired the world of magic for decades.
If anybody would be able to come back from the other side, whatever that other side is, one would assume it would be the greatest escape artist of all time, Harry Houdini.
Our investigation was to be centered around New York, the city that first made a star of Houdini. I needed to travel 2 hours south to Scranton, a city where Houdini regularly performed, to meet Johnny Bravo, a magician and co-founder of the legendary Houdini Museum.
Houdini was a tremendous egotist. He was driven. Career was probably everything for him, although he loved his wife and mother very, very much. And he actually, most people don't realize it, was the first person in the world to do an escape act.
How did his career actually begin?
He actually began working sideshows and carnivals and things like that, Coney Island, and then eventually he did get to Broadway. His first job on Broadway was the Palace Theater, and that was very important because that was the Mecca. And then later on, he actually did a show on Broadway that he took on the road, which was his last show, the one he died doing.
How exactly did he die?
He was performing at the Princess Theater in Montreal, Canada, and he went to McGill University, did a talk. Some youngsters were invited backstage, and somebody else heard about it. We call him the uninvited guest. He comes over and begins to punch, devastating punch after punch. They yell, "What are you, crazy?" Now, unknown to Houdini at this time, he has a ruptured appendix. So he ignores it. He thinks it's the sore muscles. And the broken appendix inside had gotten all infected. They gave him 6 or 7 hours to live. He lived for 7 days. And of all days, for the greatest escape artist, the guy that exposed the mystics and the psychics, he died on Halloween, October 31st, 1926. How did he do that? One amazing final stunt. But that's Houdini.
We return to New York in the desolate emptiness of a seaside resort out of season.
I thought Coney Island would be the best place for us to start looking for Houdini's spirit, because this is actually where he started his career, in the sideshows and the freak shows, and he also met his wife here, got married here, so there's a very, very strong Houdini connection. So if he's going to come back to anywhere, I thought it'd be pretty likely he might come back to here.
Well, then this sounds like a good place to start. Come on, let's go see what we can find.
Okay.
Coney Island is a tiny spit of land at the foot of Brooklyn that at the turn of the century became the most extravagant playground in the country. In scale, in variety, in sheer inventiveness, Coney Island was unlike anything anyone had ever seen, and sooner or later, everyone came to see it. In 1892, Houdini, with brother Theo, put on a double act as the Houdini brothers. In 1894, Harry meets Beatrice Rayner and marries her on June the 22nd. She immediately replaced Theo in the act, which then became known as the Houdinis, Harry and Bess.
Dick, would you mind giving us a brief history of Coney Island? And how important was it in Houdini's career?
Well, he started his career here. So in terms of being a magician, like freak shows, sideshows were an excellent place for a young magician to hone your craft. Houdini, over the course of a 1-hour rotation, would have been introduced as a magician, come out, I would imagine, would have started out small and simple, perhaps with handcuffs, escaping, graduate from there to escaping from a regulation straitjacket is used on the criminally insane.
And if Houdini was to come back, if his spirit was to come back, do you think it would come somewhere like Coney Island?
If the spirit of Houdini is in the US, if he's in Brooklyn, if he's in Coney Island, he's right here.
And have you ever had any history of paranormal activity in this building?
People claim to have felt presences. People have claimed that there were certain cold spots in the building. Perhaps there is something going on here. Let's find out.
Good, that's what we like to hear.
Would Harry Houdini really come back to the place where he started his career?
Right, Chris, what do you want to do this evening? How do you want to proceed?
All right, what I'm thinking is Dick was saying about the cold spots. Okay, so I brought my thermal scanner. If we get any temperature drops, you know, anywhere 10 degrees, 20 degrees, could be significant. If I see any drops, normally when you get paranormal activity and you get a cold spot, you can drop as much as 20 degrees. If we hit like 40, right around there, then we know we got something going on there. So then I have to check to make sure that there is no draft coming in. It's not a refrigerator, any type of coolant system. Dick, what is the temperature normally like at this time?
Well, there's no heat in the building, so I would guess tonight the average temperature should be roughly 60 degrees, something like that.
Yeah, so by scanning right now, I've got about 63 degrees. All right, I'm getting a reading right now about 61, 62 degrees. Okay, I'm not getting any tremendous drops at all, just 2 degrees, 3 degrees.
Houdini, where are you? Are you here tonight?
With no activity on the stage area, we headed down to the cold and dank basement.
And now we're underneath the sidewalk. We're actually not even under the building anymore.
What was that?
Someone else upstairs?
Unless the cat did that. No, there's nobody else upstairs.
You heard that?
Well,
It was like there, then it was there, but it wasn't like... Is there anybody here besides us that wants to communicate with us? I feel something. You know how I get the tingling and my body temperature drops a little bit in my back, down my neck? I just felt that. What is your name? We get a temperature drop. I'm getting 59, 60. Is anybody feeling any temperature changes at all?
My left arm's gone a bit cold. Just my left one, not my right one.
Okay, I'm getting on your jacket, 71. I get behind you, 62. It's a little warmer. This is making no sense. I was getting 59, now I'm getting 64. It could be our body heat that's starting to heat this room up. And 65, I'm jumping up to 65, 66, 67, 68.
Why would that be?
I have no idea. 69, 70. I'm hitting 70 now. 71. 72. There's got to be something wrong with this. 73. Now I'm going up to 73. 74. 75. 70. This thing's like, it's like malfunctioning. There's no...
We are literally in a room without any heat.
78. 79. This thing is going up. You're seeing what's happening. 80. 81. 83.
Maybe it's broken.
Gail's never done this before. 84. 85. 86. 80. You know what? Whatever's here, are you messing with my thermal scanner? Are you the one that's affecting the readings on this? It's broken. It's not working now. I mean, either there's something really wrong with this, or somebody messed with it.
Chris, why don't you stay down here on your own for a bit with a camera? See if maybe there's too many of us down here, and it seems to be messing with you.
All right.
And your thermal scanner. And I'll go upstairs and just wander around, see if I can hear anything or see anything.
Okay.
Okay?
Let me know if you find anything up there.
I will do.
Our investigation into the spirit of Houdini had got off to an amazing start.
What's that?
But this was just the beginning.
Oh, it's like someone's breathing on me. I want to get out. I don't like it.
Oh my God.
We had begun our search for Houdini's ghost at Coney Island, the place where he started his career. For the first time, we had dramatic results with our equipment, and the night had only just begun.
Gail's never done this before.
There's a lot of noises. That's spooky.
Is there anybody down here? Okay, right now I'm getting chill. I think there's someone down here. I think there's a spirit here. I know you're here. I can feel your presence. So come forward. Tell me who you are. Tell me who you are.
Looking back on the tapes, we heard a whisper in the background. We think this is an EVP. EVP stands for Electronic Voice Phenomena, where intelligible voices are picked up on tape when there is no rational explanation for them.
Tell me who you are. Presence.
With no one else present, whose voice is this?
Tell me who you are. Come forward. Tell me who you are.
We believe this EVP says, what?
Tell me who you are.
There's things hanging around everywhere, look. Oh. What is it? Chris?
Yeah.
Where are you?
How are you?
I'm a little bit scared.
Why?
Oh, it's just a bit spooky up here.
Where'd you go?
I've just been wandering around on my own.
You know how you get the feeling when someone's watching you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
That's what I get as well.
Really?
Up here.
All right, you know what? Hang on. Let me grab my tape player. I'll come right up. Gail?
I just feel a bit nervous. Maybe it's just because I'm on my own. Do you feel anything up here?
I'm gonna try to go upstage here. I'm gonna sit in this chair, Gail. Let's see if I can get anybody to show themselves. Okay, whoever's here, both Gail and I have felt your presence. We know you're watching us. So come forward and make your presence known. We're trying to contact the spirit of Houdini. Are you Houdini? We want to know who you are. Is your name Harold? If your name is Harold, give us a sign. Make a knock or a noise. Did you hear that?
What was that?
If your name is Harold, 1 for yes, 2 for no. my God.
What is that? What is that?
Something just shot right through me. Over in this damn chair. Gail, I felt that in this chair. I never, in all my years investigating, okay, I had never, ever had a response by a sound and then a vibration and a feeling that goes right through me. I've never had that before.
I want to get out. I don't like it.
The beauty of a New York morning was in stark contrast to the events of the previous night. After a fitful sleep, Chris and I met up for breakfast at a local diner.
What happened last night with this thermal scanner? It's just broken, isn't it?
No, it's not. No. I followed up on it. So what I did was I called up technical support. He goes, well, whenever you're at a great distance, you might have interference of anything in between you and the wall. If anything passes between you, you can get a fluctuation. So I said to him, I go, what can cause this? He goes, radio waves can cause it. Any electromagnetic disturbances can cause this. Gail, this is a 90-year-old building. Okay, there's not going to be any radio waves down there in the basement or any electromagnetic disturbances because it's old plumbing, it's old equipment. And the interesting thing is, I said to him, does this need to be recalibrated? Maybe it's not working correctly. He goes, well, did it work before? I go, yeah, is it working afterwards? I go, yeah, no problems. He goes, well, then I have no idea. The only thing I can tell you, something was interfering with your scanner.
I was still skeptical and knew we needed more proof that paranormal activity existed. So I took Chris to the bustling hubbub of the Big Apple.
So, Gail, why'd you bring me to Town Square?
Well, you know, last night we went to Coney Island, where Houdini started his career. Well, this is where he came after that. He came to Times Square, and he performed there in the Palace Theatre. And it's very, very haunted. It is. So we might get to see something.
All right, great. Let's go.
The Palace Theatre was built in 1913, one of the most historic and famous theatres on Broadway. It is also allegedly home to numerous ghosts, with one psychic claiming that the numbers run into hundreds. What I wanted to know was one of them Harry Houdini?
Haunted? I'm not sure whether haunted or not, but we have strange occurrences that take place from time to time.
Oh, people have seen figures, lights. When I'm here by myself, I feel like I'm the gatekeeper between the gods and the ghosts, so they pretty much run the place.
Oh, it's magnificent, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
It's beautiful. It's really creepy feeling, though, isn't it? A bit eerie. Mm-hmm. Something about empty theatres. Are you picking anything up?
No, give me some time. I'll see if I can tap into any energy left over from Houdini. But the one thing that I am noticing just by looking around is there's movements. I'm getting movements. You know, the corner of your eyes and stuff, which is good. I think we're gonna get something here.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot of history here.
With New York alive outside the stage doors, we prepared to try and make contact with the dead. I went to the dressing room area and Chris started his investigation on the stage.
You know what? I'm not really sensing anything on the stage. I sense that they're around, but they're not on the stage. I want to go upstairs to the second level because spirits tend to stay up higher up in places like this. Okay, 3.
It's after midnight. And I'm going to just wander around the corridors down here. It's really, really eerie. There's lots of mirrors and there's reflections everywhere.
Oh yeah, this is good. This is good. I can feel it. It's very dark in here. I like this. I gotta sit down. Sit down. Oh, I got awesome. Look at that. Look at that in motion. Look at that. It's a motion, orb in motion. See that? It's excellent. Excellent.
Anybody here with me? It was like a huge big blast of cold air. Is there someone here? Oh, it's like someone's breathing on me. Oh, God. Chris?
Oh, come with me. Something's pulling me. Oh, this is strong. I'm getting like sadness right now. I'm picking up an emotional sadness. The spirit's very sad. Kind of like, help me. Help us. Help. It's like crying now. Why are you bringing me in here?
Chris? I want out. Oh, God.
Dude, check this out. Help us. Oh, my God. Oh. Look, it's engraved in here.
Who was asking Chris for help?
Help us.
Could it have been the spirit of Harry Houdini?
Do you see that? It's bizarre. Is there anything else written and anything else, like on dust or anything? Is there anything written here?
Chris?
Too late. This is bizarre. This is like a puzzle.
Where's everyone gone?
Does that say leave?
Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, God, where have you been?
I'm picking some incredible stuff up, Gail. Incredible.
What's
I've got moving orbs. I'm getting messages from these spirits.
Equipment malfunction, messages scraped on wooden banisters, unexplainable phenomena, and we were yet to visit one of the most terrifying places on the east coast of America.
Oh my God.
What is that? What is that?
Would we find Harry Houdini there?
Gail, those are not your eyes.
Did you hear that? What was it?
Come on, let's get out of here.
Harry Houdini was the greatest illusionist and magician the world has ever seen, and he was proving an expert in escaping from us after death.
Hey.
Hey, Gail.
Good. Did you have a good night?
I didn't sleep too well.
Why?
I was looking at the pictures we took at the Palace Theater and going through them, and I found one with a moving orb. Look at that. Look at that in motion. Look at that. It's a motion, orb in motion. See that? It's excellent. Excellent. You know, and the thing is, too, I still got to go through the tapes for any EVPs.
Yeah.
But also was interesting last night was the inscriptions on that banister, the railing. Dude, check this out. Help us. Oh my God. Oh. Look, it's engraved in here. Okay, where are we going now?
Well, we've got a very long drive today. We're going to Philadelphia, to the Eastern State Penitentiary. You've heard of it?
That place is supposed to be seriously haunted.
It's very, very haunted.
Harry Houdini was best known as an escapologist. He escaped from padded cells, straitjackets, coffins, and most famously survived going over Niagara Falls in a barrel. Nicknamed the Jailbreaker, he studied handcuffs, cells, and the structure of prisons in order to perfect his escapes. One of those prisons was the Eastern State Penitentiary, and this was our next port of call in the search for his spirit.
Well, this is it, the Eastern State Penitentiary. You thought Alcatraz was haunted. It's got nothing on this place.
Yeah, we'll see.
We entered the prison, now a lost world of crumbling cell blocks and empty guard towers.
So what do you think?
It's frightening looking, though.
It's really creepy, isn't it?
Well, it's like being in a decayed corpse.
Oh, that's a bit morbid.
I know that sounds morbid, but look at the paint, how it peels off the ceiling and the walls, and the architecture comes together. It's like bones.
Are you picking anything up?
Well, I'm feeling a little bit of vibration, some sensations, but I'm more interested in the place memory in this place. Plus, I heard that some investigators came running out of here screaming about some dark shadows.
When was
Malevolent
that?
shadows, not too long ago.
Really?
You're not scared, are you?
Yes, I am scared.
Sean Kelly now runs the prison as a museum, and we met up with him to find out more about its notorious past.
Sean, would you mind giving us a brief history of the penitentiary?
It's a big building. It was the largest building in the United States at the time that it opened, and one of the most expensive. People often compare this building on the outside to a castle and on the inside to a church. But they believed with this new prison they could almost solve the problem of crime. They had this tremendous optimism because Eastern State is the world's first true penitentiary. It's a building designed to make a person penitent, make them actually sorry for what they did. Here they believed that through prolonged isolation, they could make the person look into their heart and become a better person.
Now, Gail and I have heard that there's been a lot of paranormal activity here.
If you believe that ghosts are anywhere, you'd have to believe that they're here. I mean, it's a building that, not to make light of it, but you know, there was an enormous amount of suffering that took place inside the building.
The prison's reliance on isolation as a form of punishment would have appealed to Houdini. The echo of the slamming cell door, the scrape of the key on the padlock, and the heavy weight of the handcuffs were all integral to his act. And it was with this in mind that Sean had a particularly creepy story he wanted to share with us at nightfall.
We pulled away all the stone and exposed this iron door, as well as the 1830s iron padlock. Our volunteer locksmith, Gary, came back and he said he thought he could get all the parts moving on that lock, and all of a sudden, he just sensed this tremendous evil from inside the cell. He says that he was thrown up against the wall and dropped to his feet, and that he lost control of his body for a minute or two. His fingertips were twitching, and he could sense, he says, people looking down at him from the balconies and from the catwalks and all around him, people staring at him, until his head cleared a little bit and he got up and made a beeline for the exit.
Our search for the elusive spirit of Houdini could not begin without equipment.
So what do you think of this place then?
I love it.
It's great, isn't
Yes.
it? I'm not looking forward to this at all tonight.
Why?
I don't know, it just feels weird in there.
Well, that's good, because that means maybe something's going to happen.
What are we going to do tonight anyway?
Well, what I've got, okay, is number one, since you're scared and this is a big place, you got to have a walkie-talkie, okay?
Okay.
Keep in contact with me in case anything happens.
And you will find me right away.
Well, it's a big place.
Don't say that. You're supposed to say yes.
You won't get lost.
Yes, Gail, I will find you right away.
Gail.
Thank you.
I've got an EMF detector. I've got 2 tape players. One, of course, is for you.
For me?
Yes. I want you to go in one of the cells. Not the one with the lock. The guy's side of the... Yes.
As night fell over Philadelphia, I was desperate to get proof that Houdini's spirit survived beyond the grave. But I was doubtful he'd want to come back to such a dark and malevolent place. Chris and I split up in the dark and foreboding corridors of the decaying hospital wing. And events occurred faster than we could have possibly imagined.
I don't like looking down that corridor, do you? It's horrible.
There's something lurking. I know you're here. I know you're here. I can feel you. Oh, Jesus. Jesus, dude. What's wrong? Something just touched me in my back. I'm not kidding.
Hello?
Yeah, where you at? Listen, our camera just went dead. We were in the corridor we were just in, plus something just rubbed up against my back. Okay, where are you located right now? I'm gonna try to find you.
Chris?
Yeah.
What do you generally feel around here?
I felt just a little bit, but not as active as I would like to have felt.
What do we do now?
I want to go in some of the more active places.
Like?
Let's go in 7. You like 7, right?
It's my favorite number.
Let's go. I'm definitely feeling stuff in here, way more than I did in there. I'm not going to be able to go very far. It's fenced off.
If there's anybody here, could you give us a sign or speak to us? listen. What was that? Did you hear that? What was it?
It sounds like there's something moving back there.
What is it?
I don't know. Did you hear that?
Yes. I don't like it.
Okay, let's go down 4. Ready? Come on. You okay?
Pardon?
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah. I feel funny up here. Do you feel funny up here? What is it?
You're okay.
I think so.
Come here, look at me.
Everything's gone a bit fuzzy, though.
Look at me. Gail, those are not your eyes.
Yes, they're my eyes. Don't say they're not my eyes. Don't freak me out.
Come on, let's get out of here. I want to get you out of here. Come on.
I'm fine.
No, come with me. Look at me now. Imagine when you look into somebody, okay, you look at them, and you see their eyes change. That's what I saw when I was looking at you. I don't like that. Okay, come on.
I was feeling dazed by the evening's events, and my vision was definitely blurred. But there was one other place that I promised Chris I would investigate, alone.
Okay, I'm in the cell where the locksmith felt an evil presence. If there's anyone here, could they maybe give me a sign? Or talk to me? I'm gonna leave this in the middle of the room here. If that was a sign, please give me another sign. I just feel like I keep going into trances. I really... I don't know. I can't explain it. That this flicker. Why is that flickering? Why is my flashlight flickering? Can you make my flashlight flicker again?
Whoever or whatever we encountered at the Eastern State Penitentiary, I was sure it wasn't Harry Houdini. But I knew in my heart that if he was going to give us a sign, it would be with his family, at his seance, on Halloween.
Make some kind of an appearance for us today.
Harry Houdini had eluded us yet again, but Chris was more concerned about what had happened to me the night before.
I want to talk to you about last night. How do you feel about it?
I felt a bit phased. I don't know, I felt really weird last night.
You scared me. I mean, looking into your eyes last night, I mean, it looks as if I was looking at somebody else. Well, you know, it's called a walk-in, where another spirit can slip right into you. I mean, that's why I had to pull you away from there. I did not like what I saw. You okay?
Pardon?
Are you feeling okay? Gail, those are not your eyes.
Yes, they're my eyes. Don't say they're not my eyes. Don't freak me out. Strange.
Your eyes changed completely, Gail. I mean, as if I was looking at somebody else. I mean, how do you feel today?
Fine, much better.
Okay, good.
Much better. Tired, but I don't think we found Houdini, though.
No.
But,
So what's next?
we're going to go to Scranton, and we're going to attend the official Houdini seance on Halloween.
We returned to Scranton, the home of the official seance. Harry Houdini spent most of his life debunking false psychics, spiritualists and mediums. He particularly loathed seances, which he believed were fraudulent more often than not. After his death, his wife Bess decided that if anyone could come through and give a real sign at a seance, it would be Houdini.
Right. Here it is. This is the Houdini Museum, and today we're going to meet a female magician, Dorothy Dietrich.
The responsibility of holding these seances every Halloween have been handed down through his family and friends. Magician Dorothy Dietrich is now in charge. She is known as the female Houdini.
Houdini was constantly a big influence on my life. The things in my life felt so similar to the things in his life. The things that he went through starting off as a poor kid and not having any real sense of direction. And I just kind of followed every bit of the way.
What would you do and how would you react if Houdini did come back?
Tell you the truth, if he did come back somehow, I'd probably pass out dead right on the spot.
Before the official seance, Dorothy wanted to show us some of the tricks that were used by fraudulent spiritualists.
One of the methods that some of the spiritualists in Houdini's day would use would to do certain kinds of trickery in the dark. And they would begin the seance with a short prayer and have the lights turned out and tell everyone to join hands. Now, if everyone would join hands at the table, now the medium has a hand free that in the dark, they can do all kinds of great things. They can have the trumpet floating. They can have the tambourine. They can also have all kinds of wonderful things happen like so. Mortal, are you dear mortal? Can you hear me? The other thing they can use this for is, this is a wonderful tool. It looks innocent enough. However, if this were to hit you in the dark, you'd be sure.
Spider.
Spooky manifestation. And they'd ask you to bring a picture of the person who had passed. At some point during the seance, that picture would actually be something that would
smashed
That
it.
would make me run out of the room. So sad to say these methods are even done today.
Houdini died at 1:26 on October the 31st, and this is the time the official seance had started ever since.
Well, usually the role of a parapsychologist at a seance is to observe, to look for any signs of actual psychic phenomena, to make an assessment. Also to keep in mind that sometimes people might try to fake things, so we do look for those kind of controls too. I think it's important in the Houdini seances that there's no trickery because this is a very serious thing. They're trying to see if Harry can escape the bounds of death, the afterlife. Can he escape from that? That would be the greatest escape of all time. And to do trickery in that circumstance would just make it a show. And this is not about a show. This is about the memory of Harry Houdini.
First off, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today on this very special occasion. As you probably know, the Houdini seance has a lot of history to it, and it has been carried on since the time of his death. And we feel very honored that you joined us here today. The seance, traditionally, we start with lighting the candelabra. In order to begin, I think it's important that we all join hands at the table. There are things here that were part of the original seance, which includes a tambourine, a trumpet. There's a pistol, a blank pistol. There are locks on the table and a silver handcuff. Hopefully, we'll get some kind of a sign from Houdini, and if not, we'll know that the truth is it's just not possible. All right, let me begin. We're here again, Houdini, trying to contact your spirit. We're hoping that we can have some kind of a contact, make some kind of an appearance for us today. Lift the table. Could you lift the table, Houdini? Lift the trumpet, Houdini. Make your voice heard through the trumpet. Can you give us a message, Houdini? Give us any kind of a sign. Please give us some kind of a recognition that it is possible to communicate with you from the beyond. The love in this room is felt very strongly. Make some kind of a sign, Houdini. Make your presence known. Move the candle, Harry. Blow it out. Come on, Harry, one last try. Make something happen. Of all the people in the whole world that could possibly do this, it would be you. You could escape from anything. Please escape from the beyond. It's okay, Harry. We'll try again next year. I thought he had moved the candles for a minute there.
That fell off it. That's what it was.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that. You jumped and
I did, didn't I?
I know, she jumped out of her skin. The candle, actually, the drip on the candle had fallen.
I didn't know what hit. I knew
And
something.
I thought maybe it was the bell or something. Okay.
I got a bit excited there, I did.
Thank you, everyone. I know for sure that he would have really, really tried, if it were possible, to communicate from the beyond. He would have done anything to come back.
And I think he was always very willing to believe in the possibility of such a thing. And I honestly believe his wife, in the 10 years that she did it, did hold out a lot of hope that it was possible. And then I believe when she stopped, I think it was with a little bit of bitterness. And it's kind of sad. In fact, you have her last comment.
I do not believe that Houdini can come back to me or to anyone using every type, medium, and seance. It is now my personal and positive belief that spirit communication in any form is impossible. I do not believe that ghosts or spirits exist.
I guess in my heart of hearts, I have a lot of questions for Houdini, and it would be great if I could ask them and have them answers. He really wasn't just a magic guy. He wasn't just Mr. Show Business. He was an incredible person. He's in my heart.
Yes, you just have to believe that.
Well, it's very interesting. It was a little shorter than I expected, actually. Normally, you give a little time for the spirits to be in touch, but there was pure emotion here. Dorothy had amazing connection in terms of internally. You could feel the emotion coming off of her, and I felt her sadness at not being able to talk to Houdini at this point.
I know it was very emotional for some of the people around the table. We were just very honored to be here and hope that she continues the tradition on an annual basis.
You know, I thought when the candle dropped and fell on the table, I jumped and Gail jumped too. So that was quite a moment because I thought for a minute something was going to happen, you know? So I would have been delighted to have been one of the first participants in a seance where there was communication. So.
It had been an emotional journey, perhaps the most personal of all our investigations so far. A new day dawned, and Chris and I were in reflective mood.
I've thoroughly enjoyed this trip, you know.
It was pretty exciting, wasn't it?
I don't think we found Houdini, though.
Well, we did have some exciting things happen. I mean, think about what happened at Coney Island.
Coney Island
with the
was
thermal
great.
scanner. Now that was cool.
And the noises and everything.
Now,
Palace Theatre.
I wish we had more time there. I did feel something there.
You did?
I don't think it was Houdini, though.
Eastern State Penitentiary was great. I felt something there.
I know you did.
I felt
I'll never forget the
very-
look in your eyes.
Really, really strange. I actually felt like I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it, but it was a very strange night.
So what do you think? You think we found Houdini?
No.
No.
I think Dorothy's house was amazing. The seance that we got to take part in the seance was just a great thing. But I think that the greatest escapologist in the world has escaped us. He's gone. He's on the other side.
He's definitely escaped us. No, the thing is, I think he's on the other side, Gail. He's not coming back here. Why would he want to come back here?
No. It's a shame. Dorothy would like it.